Liverpool have found their new superstar.
I am number one, not number two. If I'm not the one, I'm uncomfortable. See the competition I've been running through. Leveled up, I only see him in my rear view.
It's Hugo Ekitike who scores for Liverpool. What a start! It's another goal for Hugo Ekitike.
The Reds haven't always looked settled this season. Poor performances, civil war between the manager and the club legend. But one thing that has stayed consistent is Hugo Ekitike.
Hugo Ekitike, A+.
He's been really good. He started well, he came in the Community Shield, he scored. He started the season scoring. He was the best player. He was linking the play up. So yeah, I think he's been a big plus point for Liverpool this year. I think he's done his job.
He scores goals for fun. Every time Liverpool need a goal, he's there. Not only does he score goals, but he gives Liverpool a clear shape and presence up front. When Liverpool brought in two big name strikers, most of the noise was around Alexander Isak. He had the reputation, the price tag, the Premier League experience. But while everyone was looking one way, Ekitike was quietly taking over.
But that will do him the world of good, and also give players the confidence, and maybe even supporters the confidence that it's not all about Isak, and if you don't get him, it's the end of the world. He might have someone pretty special up front already.
Game by game, goal by goal, he's made the number 9 spot his own. He looks like the future face of Liverpool, and when you watch him play, he has everything.
Yeah, lovely. He's got good shape, good size about him. He's strong. He's quick. He doesn't mind coming short. He doesn't mind going long. He looks like a bit of an all-rounder.
He's tall, he's fast, and he's incredibly smooth with the ball at his feet. He can hold off defenders, run in behind, drift wide, carry the ball, and finish chances with both power and finesse. He doesn't just have the tools to be Liverpool's main man, but the qualities to become one of the defining players of the Premier League. And what really stands out about him is how he carries himself. Ekitike plays and sounds like someone who already believes he belongs at the very top.
He's just got that thing, like, sometimes you look at a guy and you go, you've got an elegance about you, but you're sure of yourself. And I like that about him. When you see him, he doesn't look like he has a lot of self-doubt.
And that confidence didn't suddenly appear at Anfield, because long before the goals at Liverpool, before the spotlight and the pressure of the Premier League, Hugo Ekitike had already backed himself. And to understand why he plays the way he does today, we have to go back to where that belief first took shape. You see, Ekitike was considered a top prospect from a very young age. His real breakthrough came during the 2021-2022 season with Reims, his hometown club. He was just 19 years old, but you wouldn't have guessed it the way he played. Also, he was freakishly tall, so he just looked way older. That year, he scored 11 goals and got 4 assists in just 26 matches. A very good return for a teenager playing on a mid-table side. One of his best moments came early in the season when he came off the bench against Nantes and scored twice to turn a 1-1 draw into a 3-1 win.
Alexander flips, but then at the near post, Ekitike, he didn't have just one goal, he had 2.
The Reims fans were buzzing. They couldn't believe that a local academy kid was already making this kind of impact. He had a build that you couldn't even make in pro clubs. He was tall, like NBA tall, but he was also fast. Then on top of that, he was good on the ball. The fact that he was this physical specimen, but could also link up with his teammates and make clever runs without the ball, made him attract a ton of attention from across Europe. By January of 2022, Reims couldn't hide this alien. Big clubs were circling, with Newcastle making a serious offer to sign him.
The representatives of Reims striker Hugo Ekitike have held further positive talks with Newcastle United.
But Ekitike chose to stay. He wanted to keep learning and improving his game. In fact, the Reims president, Jean-Pierre Caillot, stated that the club and Ekitike still had a piece of history to write together. As time went by, Ekitike's reputation kept growing, so it came as no surprise that another big club came calling. This time, it was the croissant lovers, PSG. In the summer of 2022, Ekitike made the move that every young French player dreams of. He was going to Paris Saint-Germain. He was initially brought on loan with an option to buy, for around 35 million euros. For a kid from Reims, walking into a dressing room with Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi, it was like stepping into FIFA. It was exciting, but it was also a huge learning moment. Every day he got to train with some of the best players in the world. In that first season, he made 32 appearances, scoring 4 goals and getting 4 assists. And by the end of the season, he was holding his first major trophy, the Ligue 1 title. Now I know what you're thinking, winning Ligue 1 with PSG is like losing your virginity to a prostitute. But based on how Ekitike had played that season, it wasn't too bad for a 20-year-old. But the issue was that he wasn't getting regular playing time. His appearances were all mainly from the bench, and even when he showed moments of quality, he was never going to start over Messi, Neymar, or Mbappe. PSG though still believed in him and his potential, so they made his loan deal permanent. And going into the second season, with Messi and Neymar gone and a new manager in Luis Enrique coming in, there was hope that Ekitike might finally get an opportunity. But that's not how it went. Under the Spaniard, Ekitike was pushed even further down the pecking order. In the first half of the 2024 season, he barely played. He wasn't even included in PSG's Champions League squad. In Ligue 1, he made just 1 appearance during that entire stretch. For a young player trying to develop, this was the worst possible situation to be in. Ekitike knew he had to make a change. As amazing as it was to be around world-class stars, he needed to play. Sitting on the bench wasn't going to help him reach the levels that he wanted. So he made the brave decision to leave the comforts of Paris and go somewhere where he can prove his value all over again. And that team was Eintracht Frankfurt. The club signed him initially on loan in January of 2024. It was the perfect move. Frankfurt had a strong record of developing young players, specifically strikers, and the fans there loved attacking football. Once he settled in, Ekitike quickly earned a spot in the starting lineup. He scored his first Bundesliga goal on April 19th, 2024 in a 3-1 win over Augsburg.
Needs to be less flowery and a little more direct. That's it! That's exactly what you need to be!
Now he ended the half season with just 4 goals and 2 assists in 14 appearances, but Frankfurt had seen enough. They made his loan deal permanent. The moment that convinced them was probably the goal that he scored against Bayern Munich.
There's a shooting chance and there's a wonderful goal! And that is how to finish! Ekitike!
That was a moment that got everyone talking. A young striker scoring a wonder goal against the biggest team in Germany. From that moment on, his confidence just exploded. Because going into the 2024-2025 season, Ekitike was a different player. In the Bundesliga, he scored 15 goals and provided 8 assists. Across all competitions, he finished with 22 goals and 12 assists. He was unstoppable. Only 4 players in Europe's top 5 domestic leagues generated a better combined non-penalty expected goals and expected assist figure than Ekitike. And guess who those 4 players were? It was Salah, Rafinha, Lewandowski, and Mbappe. So pretty good company to be a part of. Every week, Ekitike was either scoring or creating. At 6'3", he could hold off defenders with ease. But what surprised everyone was his quick feet and creativity. He often dropped deep to get the ball, then he would turn and either dribble past a bunch of players or pick out a smart pass. He was constantly moving, drifting into wide spaces, making it hard for the defenders to track him. Look at his goal against Victoria Pilsen in the Europa League.
Lovely touch, brilliant goal!
He wiggled away 2 defenders, played a 1-2 with Rasmus Christensen, then put the ball in the back of the net. This guy is built like Victor Wembanyama and moving like this. It shouldn't be possible. He is fantastic at sniffing out opportunities in the box. As you can see from this graphic from The Athletic, 8 of his finishes came from inside the opposition's 6-yard box. His dribbling though is his best weapon. He averaged nearly 4 dribbles per game, putting him in the top 5% of all strikers in the Bundesliga. And when he got into dangerous areas, he wasn't selfish. He loved to involve his teammates. That's why he averaged 1.5 key passes per 90 minutes, meaning that in every match, he created at least 1 or 2 big chances for other people. And of course, he wasn't afraid to shoot. He took almost 3 shots per game, with more than half of them hitting the target. That mix of him being creative and a goal threat is what made him such a nightmare for defenders. I don't know what that feels like after watching Nunez for 3 years. Like, look at what this man did to Spurs in the Europa League.
To do here. And that is a fabulous strike! Oh, goodness gracious me!
Frankfurt were one of the most threatening teams on the break in the 2025 season, and a big part of that was because of Ekitike. He was involved in one way or another in the counters. Either he was finishing the playoff himself or creating a chance for his teammates. Fun fact, only Salah racked up more goal contributions from fast breaks than Ekitike in the 2025 season. Look at what the Frenchman did to Borussia Mönchengladbach. Even though he has these long, lanky legs like Slender Man, he's always in control when he's dribbling, which is what makes him so terrifying. Like, look at what he did to Ajax in the Europa League.
Hugo
Look at the following graphic. It shows his forward carries in the Bundesliga. He loves to drive forward with the ball. Nunez offered a vertical threat, but the final pass or finish was always missing. Ekitike, meanwhile, brings way more fluidity to the attacking line. His partnership with Marmoush was ridiculous before the Egyptian got picked up by Man City. They would constantly combine and just punish teams.
Once again, Marmoush and Hugo Ekitike at the double.
According to The Athletic, Ekitike was in the 95th percentile for key passes, the 94th percentile for shot creating actions, and the 93rd among all forwards for expected assists. Only 3 players had more shots following ball carries than Ekitike, and that was Yamal, Mbappe, and Mason Greenwood. Ignoring Mason Greenwood, that's pretty good company to be a part of. It was Ekitike's powerful runs that opened up space for his teammates when Frankfurt scored against Leipzig. When you have players like Salah and Gakpo that can cut inside and score, you don't need an out-and-out 9. You need a player like Ekitike who can provide you with more than just goals. The Frenchman's height makes him a solid aerial presence and offers Liverpool the ability to play direct. One long ball from the back to him, he can hold it up, then play someone like Wirtz or Salah through on goal. That's what Frankfurt did time and time again. Here he is against Heidenheim, bringing a header down to Mario Götze to begin the attacking move, and then he ends up finishing the chance himself with a simple tap-in. Ronaldo would be proud.
Oh, it's a nice one. Brown, tap-in, Ekitike, all over. Heidenheim.
You can also play the ball to his feet and he'll produce quality-like passes that lead to goals, like what he did against Victoria Pilsen. Now, usually players that are this tall are only good in the air, but Ekitike is also super pacey. In this goal against Dortmund, he drops into space to play a 1-2 with Christensen, then crashes the penalty area, finishing off the chance himself.
Aim for. And a good ball in and swept home by Hugo Ekitike.
In the 2025 season, Ekitike was the only center forward in Europe's top 5 leagues to both carry the ball into the opposition penalty area 50 times and record more than 200 touches inside it. In and around the box, he's always finding space to do damage. He is very clever with his link-up play, constantly finding players from angles that you didn't even know existed, and he does it with flair. That's the type of player he is. He plays with confidence and swagger. He lets his balls hang on the pitch. He isn't afraid of big occasions at all. In fact, it seems, based on his play and celebrations, that he actually quite enjoys the spotlight. So it made sense when Liverpool came in for him.
Right, big breaking news, and it regards Liverpool. James, what can you tell us?
Well, we were just talking about it before, but Hugo Ekitike is a Liverpool player. It's been confirmed.
Ever since taking the pitch for the first time for the Reds, he has elevated them to another level. Despite all the chaos that happened around Slot, Salah, and the club as a whole, Ekitike continues to deliver. He scored on his debut in the Community Shield and carried that straight into the league.
He's worked the shooting chance! Oh, that will certainly do for starters! Hugo Ekitike, less than 4 minutes into his Liverpool debut on the score sheet at Wembley.
Liverpool won the first 5 league games he started. After that, I feel like Slot made a mistake. He stopped playing Ekitike in order to try and get Isak into match fitness, and it didn't work, and the team suffered as a whole.
So I understand him trying to get Isak in the team, even though Ekitike was doing well, because he's a great player. He's got to get him fit, and he's also paid a lot of money for him. And my mind boggles going forward how this is going to work. But right now, Ekitike's got the shirt, he's playing really well, and it means Ekitike's got to be on the bench, which is not right at the moment.
You see, when Ekitike starts, Liverpool win more games, they score more goals, and they look sharper as a team. When he doesn't play, everything feels tougher. He got 7 goals in his first 10 Premier League starts, which put him alongside Mo Salah and just behind Daniel Sturridge.
He's had an amazing start to his Liverpool career. In fact, only one player has actually started his Liverpool career better than Hugo Ekitike.
Who's that?
It's Daniel Sturridge.
What?
He hit double-digit figures in all competitions faster than any Liverpool player has in years. And he did it while rotating in and out of the team, adjusting to a new league, a new manager, and a side that is still trying to find consistency.
It's not his fault he was left out of the team. He started well, he came in the Community Shield, he scored. He started the season scoring. He was their best player. He was linking the play up. I think he's got 7 league goals. It wasn't his fault that Arne Slot left him out for an unfit Alexander Isak. He's came back in, he's continued his goal scoring.
Maybe it's his own fault that he got dropped out of rotation. After all, he did take his shirt off in celebration in a midweek Carabao Cup match against Southampton. What really stands out about Ekitike is how clinical he is. He doesn't need a lot of chances. If he gets one, he usually finishes it. A lot of his goals actually come from low quality chances. He's very sharp with his movement, he reacts quickly, and he's ruthless when defenders switch off for even a moment. I mean, look at him dunking all over Romero. It's a blessing for Liverpool fans who had to endure Darwin Núñez missing chances for fun. But Ekitike is not just a finisher. He gets involved in everything. He drifts wide, carries the ball forward, and runs directly at defenders. For a striker, his dribbling and touch numbers are very high. He links the play well and gives Liverpool an outlet when they're under pressure. When you give him the ball, he holds it up, and that allows the rest of the team to push up and reset. This was very visible against Brighton at Anfield. He scored twice, but that was only a small part of his performance. He took more shots than any Liverpool player had in a single game all season. He completed so many of his dribbles, he linked with the midfielders, and he stayed dangerous until the moment that he came off exhausted to a standing ovation. That tells you how much work he puts in. There's also a physical side to his game that Liverpool desperately need. He uses his body really well, holds off defenders, and never gives the center backs a break. Even when he's not scoring, he's pulling defenders around and creating space for others. That's why the comparisons with Alexander Isak is unavoidable. On paper, having two big name strikers looks like a bonus, but in reality, there's always going to be a pecking order. Isak had his moments, but he often waits for the game to come to him. Ekitike doesn't. He goes and takes the game by the scruff of the neck. He asks for the ball, he drives the team forward, and he forces defenders into mistakes. When the two have played together, it hasn't really clicked. So it was obvious that changes were needed, and based on Ekitike's form, it's very obvious that he deserves to be Liverpool's #1 striker. The manager trusts him, his teammates trust him. Even the Liverpool fans trust him more than anybody else on the pitch, besides maybe Szoboszlai. Liverpool win more often with him leading the line, they score more goals, and they look like a proper attacking team. The most encouraging part is that he's still getting better. His involvement is increasing, his shot numbers are going up, and he looks more and more comfortable every single game. This doesn't feel like a purple patch, it feels like a player settling into his role. For most players, he's getting stronger, harder to push off the ball, and keeping his level higher than ever. The scary thing for everyone else is that Liverpool still haven't even fully clicked yet. When they do, Ekitike looks like the kind of striker who will level up with them. Right now, he's doing more than just scoring goals. He's giving Liverpool belief, and another thing that they badly needed, which was clarity at the number 9 position. Now, Ekitike has solved the striker dilemma, but there's still a lot of other issues at Liverpool that need attention. To see what's going on with the defending Premier League champions, you have to watch this video right here.